Firstly, let's welcome everyone to our online clinic. It's been a while since we have done an online clinic, and if you have joined us, you'll notice something has different. We have now changed our name as our company name. We used to be called ColorX Private Limited, but now we have rebranded to our brand that you actually are very familiar with, which is SendQuick. So the company now is the operating entity is called SendQuick Private Limited. And if you can see, our logo has also changed. You can see ding, 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 ding. We have a new logo, right. And we also have a new website. So to find out more, you can drop by www.sendquick.com to see our new website. Right. So very welcome again to everyone. Maybe can I have Jasmine share the PowerPoint slide earlier on? After the video, there was some more slides. Okay, so this webinar is going to be recorded, so don't worry if you missed something out. We'll send you the recording after the when we have edited some of the things, but you will get a recording. And second thing is that at the end of this webinar or this online clinic, there will be a lucky draw. This is always the exciting part. Yes, you can share the screen. Yes, I already talked about this. So yes, there will be a Amazon gift card. We will draw one lucky winner to win a Amazon e-gift card. But you got to stay till the end. Okay, don't. So be there, and then we'll draw out the names. And finally, again, let me introduce myself. My name is Andy Han. I'm the Customer Experience Manager for SendQuick. And what I do basically is to create things like this. This is one of the initiatives we are trying to create to engage with not only our customers, potential partners, friends, and customers to know more about what we do and give you an insight more on what SendQuick is. Jasmine, can you help me in the next slide, because I need to introduce her. Today we have a special speaker. Okay, Jasmine is our Business Development Manager for all our cloud solutions. And today we're going to do a very interesting thing, because most of you, maybe if you know SendQuick, you know that we are very good in our network management platform, but it's on appliance or on-prem. But let's say if you're thinking of going hybrid cloud environment, you may or may not know, we actually do also have a cloud solution that's quite powerful. And today's Jasmine is going to give us a quick pick on how you can use that cloud solution. It's called SendQuick Cloud. And with that, she's going to do a few things, what the difference that you can have on the cloud compared to the appliance, because there are people who are their systems are on the Amazons, the Google Cloud, or the Ali Cloud and all. So what have we done to easily integrate with them? And again, also, how do we manage alerts? Again, you got alert fatigue, and how to monitor if your appliances or your systems are not on the cloud, how you use SendQuick Cloud to monitor them. And finally, maybe a use case on how this SendQuick Cloud tool can be useful if you are managing certain service level agreement with anyone. You want to make sure that you need to fix something in a certain time frame based on the service level, how to meet that using SendQuick Cloud as a tool. So with that, without further ado, let me hand over the time to Jasmine, and she will then carry on with the show. So she will also have to change the slide. So give her a moment. Meanwhile, we try to fix the chat. I think I'm so sorry. The chat, we may have disabled something. We need to turn it on.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, I think I found how to turn on the chat. So the chat is on. Please help to type in something there so we know that it's working. You can use that to interact with us while Jasmine presents. Sorry about that, Jasmine. I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Working. Very good. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Riza. Thanks. Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay, so let me go into SendQuick Cloud, which is the topic for today. So it is actually a hosted version of a centralized platform for you to actually consolidate all your notifications together. So we will look at, first of all, when we actually want to do monitoring and we get alerts. Usually the default way of getting alerts right now will be probably, the most common one would be via emails. And as we all know, email sometimes it can be a lot. and it can always go to your inbox and jump out your whole inbox, or even still, some of them may be actually termed as spam and it goes to the spam box. And sometimes you may have lost mails, along the way. So in that case, email may not necessarily be the best option, and the only option for you to actually receive alerts. So therefore, we actually have this email filter rule in SendQuick Cloud that you can actually use it to receive alerts through channels of others, such as SMS, such as voice call, or even through social channels that we supported, and it's very simple to use. So I'm going to show you, how it really, works in that. So I've actually created one. So let me just show you how it looks like. So say for example, you may have a printer, and a printer, because of paper jam, is down. So what happened is that, when it's down, probably you will trigger an alert. And what will happen is that, when you trigger an alert, assuming that this is the email address of the printer itself. So with the subject title of the alert saying that, printer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is down, and with a message, saying paper jam inside the content. So you can actually set it in such a way that so long as any of the parameters here are matched, whether is it the from email address is matched, the subject title is matched, or the message content is matched, it will trigger an alert to the people on duty. Okay, so in this case, I've actually put any, and I disable any rule time buffer, which means to say every email trigger out from this address will and matches any of this will actually cause a trigger in the alerts of the users that are on duty. Okay, so what will happen is that, okay, let me show you this. Let me show you my email. I need to shift this on the side. Okay. Okay, so for example, just now, this is my from email address, and then this is the to, and then with the subject title, say for example, print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's down. And then I say, paper jam, for example. So I remove the rest. Okay, this is just for illustration purposes. So as such. So what will happen is that if I were to trigger this, and then it will actually result in sending alerts. So you can see from here, this is the alertee list. It will actually send the following configuration. For example, if it's an escalation or once, depending on how you structure your alerting workflow. So you can actually have an escalation where the alert message will actually pick up your from email address, the subject title of the email, as well as the message content of the email, and then send it to who? At the first level, send it to, say, for example, to all the people that is actually sitting in this group. And then within a cycle interval of how many minutes, so for example, 1 minute or 2 minutes, or depending on how you configure, nobody replies, nobody acknowledges in that aspect, it will actually route to the second level. And in the second level, again, you can actually customize who exactly to receive at whichever particular channel that you want it to be. So it can be just, for the second level to a particular person on the SMS channel, the voice, or to others. So it depends on how you configure. Okay, so in this instance, I actually configure level 1 to basically sales team of all the channels, and also, in level 2, just as a voice call. So what will happen is that, allow me to just do a demo. So if I would send this out, and then if you look at my user, as in me as a user, you can see that actually this is me, Jasmine. So my channel alerts include Teams, Line, Telegram, etc. So yeah, you see.
Okay, hang on. I think Jasmine, there's a lot of things to pack in this little small solution demo that you just shown us.
Okay.
So I just want to break it down a bit. Okay, so because this is a cloud solution, it doesn't need to be in the same network as your appliances that you're monitoring, right? Do you need to be in the same
Okay, for email alert itself, basically, so long as the email can actually I mean, it can actually send out.
Right, it can be sent out through.
To us, you know,
Correct.
through this particular account that you register.
Exactly. So as long as we know the email address and we can send it and the cloud sits in the cloud, I mean, as thank you sits in the cloud, you will be able to receive this email. It can actually send the alerts to the channel. And you have shown us also that besides SMS, you have multiple channels that we can send our message to, not just SMS, right?
Yes.
And also the beauty of it, even on the SendQuick cloud, you can do escalation.
Yes.
All right. This is one of the key feature in our appliance, and now we also have adopted it for our SendQuick cloud solution. Right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe continue then.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is a live one that I've actually showed you. So I've actually because it's actually sent to me with the channels activated, which includes Line, Teams, Microsoft Teams, and Telegram. So
this is a screenshot of which app?
Okay, can you see? Can you see
I can see the screen, but I don't know what app is this.
Okay, this one. Okay, let me show you.
You're showing us a screenshot of your mobile screen,
my mobile
right?
version of my screen. Yeah. So for example, just now I actually sent it to me.
Correct.
As a person who is on duty. So this is the alert message that is sent to my Telegram.
So it's Telegram. So that just now that screen on the mobile is a Telegram app from your mobile.
This is the Telegram app from my mobile. Then this is the Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams. So besides Telegram, you can also send to Teams, right?
Yes. And then the other one is Line.
This is a screenshot of a Line on your phone, right? Okay,
yes,
this is a Line application. Okay,
Line
great.
application. Yeah, of course, we can also support other things like Slack, and then we also have voice call as mentioned, and also SMS. But
voice call, as in automated voice call or real person talking?
It is actually a voice. It's a text to speech.
Text to speech. Okay.
Feature.
It's not you sitting behind and then you get a message you read out then.
Yeah, not really. Yeah,
okay.
but it will be good because what happened is that if you realize all these channels to really get it on board, especially those instant messaging ones, is quite simple. And it's quite, in a way, quite instantaneous. Why do I say that? Okay, because take a look at this. Okay, you see. Okay, so what happened is that in the cloud environment using SendQuick Cloud, basically, to really get on board to actually get alerts through social channels doesn't necessarily have to get yourself involved in creating the bot and then get it configured and registered. So you can actually basically use the bot that is actually owned by us, owned by SendQuick. And what you need to do is that you need to find the right bot. So you find the right bot, and we do have step-by-step guide on that.
Right.
Yes. So you find the right bot, and then you just fill in, you just follow the queue. So for example, if you find the bot, SendQuick Cloud bot, for example, on Teams, what you do is that you can type in register to start off. And then it will actually prompt you to ask for your company ID.
Okay.
Yeah, so this company ID can be found basically when you log in, slash company slash, that is the company ID that you can actually put it in. Then after which you will then be prompted to actually put in your mobile number. But how to really do so is that basically you need to make sure that the mobile number is here. That means you need to make sure that you first created this user profile in the portal itself.
Okay, but before you go there, what you're saying is that if our customers or anyone who wants to do messaging to Teams, to Telegram, typically you need to go and register a bot by your company using your own company name, and that process, and we know it can be quite painful.
Certain times, some of them is okay. To be honest, some of them are pretty okay, but there are times that there are more complicated processes involved.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you use SendQuick Cloud, you don't have to worry about that hassle of registering for the bot. It's basically you're writing along what we have already done, and you just need to put in the company name, the number, and all this, and then basically. Yep, you're good to go, right?
All right. So that means you make sure that you just put in the company ID, the number, and then your mobile number, and then after that, it will actually do a verification. We will actually send an OTP to you guys. By the way, we also do OTP as well. So we send an OTP to you guys, and then once it matches, the registration is successful, and you're ready to go to receive an alert.
Okay. We have a question while we are at this. Is WhatsApp supported?
For SendQuick Cloud itself, currently, no. We only added this field. Reason being is because there are certain, I would say limitations, but certain parameters in certain apps, say for example WhatsApp and even WeChat, that we need to consider before we roll this out as a SaaS platform that is so-called shared among all the corporate users.
So it is possible, just that of course the current problem is there's some challenges, but once we can overcome those obstacles, that can be included in the future,
so it's definitely in our pipeline. In fact, actually, even though I'm sharing about SendQuick Cloud for now, as Andy had shared earlier, we actually do support other platforms as well. So on-prem, then yes, for on-prem services, you can actually create your own chat, on board in that sense. Then WhatsApp is definitely one of the channels that you
consider. I see. So if you are on-prem, you want to do WhatsApp, we have that solution, not an issue, can be done. Another thing with the cloud, because we need to register for you, or rather register under company and then be used by you, that is some challenge.
Of the customers,
right? So, but if you can, like on-prem, you register your own bot for WhatsApp, no problem. We have all those APIs done. You can actually send messages to WhatsApp, right? Can the config and updated via CS file? Can we update some of these things via CSV file?
Update via, you mean to actually send?
Which config? Maybe we can ask the question a bit, clarify a bit more on the question. We're not quite sure which config file they're referring, but most of the things, if there is a bulk things that you want to send out, you can actually use CSV file to import, right?
But that's other solutions that we have. So for example, if you want to blast alerts, with
mass broadcast, you can file upload everything.
Then we have this as a cloud solution, as an on-prem services, depending on your project scope.
Okay. I think basically that one, come back to us, we can help you to clarify a bit more, and then we definitely have some solutions. It's just a matter of which one that we are talking about.
Yes.
Okay, maybe can send to WhatsApp group chat or personal. Yes, you'll send to personal.
WhatsApp group chat.
That's for the on-prem WhatsApp.
WhatsApp API itself doesn't support the group.
It can't support the group, but you can definitely send to personal.
Yes, correct. But you can also do broadcast.
Oh, but you can do broadcast. Which then basically you can broadcast to a group. Okay. Right. Okay.
But it's individually.
Okay. Let's not hold Jasmine any further. Let her continue first.
Okay, sure.
We'll do the other questions later.
So basically, to actually get so-called opt-in or rather subscribe to this channel bot is as easy as that. And we have step-by-step guide for each of the supported channel on SendQuick Cloud. So that's one part. And then the other thing is that once you actually get yourself subscribed, or rather, on board to this, you can have a choice to actually activate or not. So for example, if it's not onboarded, actually all these icons that are supported, that means all these channels that are supported will be on the right. It means it will be somewhere here. Then because for me, I actually subscribe to all. So all this will shifted to the left. And despite having so, you do not necessarily have to actually activate all to get alerts. So you can choose to, for demo purposes, I actually choose Teams, I choose Line, I choose Telegram to show you guys. But of course, having that said, somebody else can choose all if you want, or you just want to choose, something that is not instant messaging. It can be just, voice call, email, SMS. Up to you to decide. So that is the email filter part. So I think this one actually will really help, in terms of having, alert sending through, jump up, in your mailbox, and you want to actually filter out what is the priority to focus on. This will be the one for you. Okay. Then just now you also mentioned that, sometimes because customers may be, not just having solutions that are on-prem, they may have solutions that is actually sitting on public cloud. Or they may have even multi-cloud, So how going to actually manage all this under a single, interface to manage all the notifications to people, to groups of users that are actually on duty. So what will happen is that what we have is the cloud provider segments, which is a feature that is only available on SendQuick Cloud.
Okay.
So this is the highlight, only available on SendQuick Cloud.
So this is making things easier for you. You don't have to really do all the configuration. It's all configured. You just need to plug in certain details, and then you
just
can
certain
good to go,
details.
right?
Yeah, correct. So it's basically webhook integration, simply put. And the thing is, we support all the big brothers out there. Of course, this is not the only ones. We are definitely along the way we will add more. So currently, what are supported in the cloud providers service category are actually including Alibaba Cloud, AliCloud, AWS, Google, Huawei, Azure, and Oracle.
Okay, so basically, if you have any systems already in this public cloud provider, and you want to monitor whether as like what SendQuick does for some of your systems right now, you can easily do that webhook configuration to them, and you can then now use SendQuick Cloud as your alert and notification tool.
So this is actually very much applicable, when a company is actually doing migration of hardware and everything all on the cloud. And you may have your monitoring tools sitting on this public cloud providers themselves. So all these are very intangible stuff. So how are you going to actually manage everything that's more turning everything into more tangible, having like alert to your mobile devices. So SendQuick Cloud is the way to go. So what happened is that, and also, moving forward, some companies may actually even have adopted multi-cloud approach. So, or you may have one cloud, another cloud, or more than one cloud. So how are you going to do that? And the thing is, the catch is different cloud providers when they actually push out what we call the alert in the form of payloads, they are of different formats. So the thing is, to really have to understand different formats and configure the rules, the alert rules of the incidents may be a hassle. So what happened is that what we do is we actually consolidate, or rather we actually standardize all the payloads into a certain format. So that's easy for the user to actually configure the rule, to send out the alerts whenever necessary. So if you take a look, for example, Google Cloud, and then I've actually created a rule. Just a minute, I think spelling error. So you can actually choose.
Send you an alert for that.
Send it through the social channel. So actually, these are all the objects that is grabbed from the cloud provider themselves. So you can see it's whole list, and we have others. Then after which you go next, you can actually set the conditions. And the good thing about this is that if you take a look at this, you see, okay. So what happened is that actually they actually grab all the recent alerts that is churning out from this particular cloud provider, and then it actually comes out with a standard format, which is the parameters that is actually being color coded. So actually, in fact, if there are different hierarchy, actually there are different colors also.
But now in this case, it's only one color.
Right? Yeah, correct.
So the different colors will help you to easier to demarcate the different types of the alerts or different kind of parameters that can come through the whole chunk of payload text.
Correct. Because sometimes the payloads can be too long, too lengthy. It's very hard. It's actually quite taxing to your eyes.
Right.
So to make it easy and more soothing to the eyes, to actually pick up the parameters and also to set it as part of the conditions. So you can just basically as simple as just click and it will drop to the left. So this is how it works. And the thing is, if you were to actually set the parameters as part of the conditions, you can then further define the conditions. So whether is it equal, not equal, whatever kind of pattern that you want.
Right.
And then furthermore, we actually go one step further to also even set, do you want to actually meet all the conditions here, or is just any of it? So it's the same as our email filter rule.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So then after this, so once you're set, and then you go next, which is the last step. That includes basically who to inform. Right. So you can actually select a particular user.
Or address book and all, or
yes, correct, from the user list. Yeah, correct. So all this can be actually configured under our user here.
Okay. So let me repeat those two key things that you mentioned. One is that because sometimes our systems, maybe you deal with different vendors. One vendor suggests using Google Cloud, another one using Huawei for that system. Then you got multiple systems, and you will be headache. You're trying to configure the notification in all the different places. But what we can do is can have SendQuick Cloud, and each of them can talk to any of these cloud providers, right?
Yes.
So that's one advantage already. You have a centralized system, even though you have multiple cloud providers. Then the second thing is that once the information that it comes from the payload, all this text that this cloud provider provide, it gives you chunks and chunks of data. It's very hard to see. So we have made it color code so that you can see what are the kind of parameters that they have. And then you can set the conditions easily. And then basically set up the rules to send alerts when those conditions are met, right?
Yeah, so basically, when you set the conditions and then when you set the alert message, you can even customize the message.
Customize the message.
So it's like you don't just get the wholesale of the payloads and then push it as a message. That one will cost a lot of money.
Okay, can we just put that powered by SendQuick every time they send a message?
Yeah, definitely. See, you can just like this.
Right.
Yeah, so basically it's actually, you can see that this is actually customizable, and you can then actually even pick up from the recent alerts and set it as part of the, you take a look, you can see that you can set it as part of the message variables that you can pick it up from the message content of the alert itself. So for example, when I took this and I use a Postman to do a simple, sharing of how it looks like. So when I actually do Google Cloud.
Okay, hang on. For those who are not sure what you're talking about, what is a Postman?
Okay, it's something like it's something for you to do a testing of how it works.
So basically, it is like a sandbox or where you can actually do certain things and see what is the result before you finalize that. That's the kind of parameters or the codes you want to use, right? Yeah,
correct. So if you take a look, Google Cloud, I've actually enabled the rule, and then you actually make sure that you configure the integration key and the URL, the webhook integration to it. And then after which I can actually do a test send. Yeah. So what will happen is that so long as it matches the conditions that were set, which was any of the conditions back then, including the alert ID, etc., the message that I'm supposed to receive should include, it comes out already, should include the alert ID as well as the severity level as per what I've actually stated here. So you take a look, this is right now. This is the one that I get from Telegram. This is the one that I get from Microsoft Teams. And then last one from Line. You see that?
Yep, I see that. Right.
Yeah.
This is a line.
Yep.
So the warning will come up over here. Okay.
Yeah. So so basically so the thing is I've actually mentioned that you can actually set the users here. You can do the activation of the list here. This is actually one key differences between
on-prem and cloud.
In a way, because on-prem you have to actually create your own bot. All this is just basically an opt-in.
I see.
Yes. And then the second differences is that we support cloud providers for Circuit Cloud. So if you have anything that is on the public cloud and you actually need to consolidate all in a centralized notification hub or platform, this is something that you can consider with.
Right.
Yeah. And then of course, having that said, we also have other things like email filter and network monitor, which I never cover much for today's session.
And are you covering it?
Definitely. So
so what is network monitor?
Okay, network monitor is actually for Circuit Cloud. We actually do a basic version where we cover ping, port, and URL check. So these are basic and yet essential checks for your servers, or rather for your IP addressable devices. So to actually get that up, you just make sure that you register your device profile.
So the device will have to sit in the same network for you to ping the IP, right?
So long as you open up the port for us.
Oh, you need to open up the port, then that's why you can do the monitoring, because otherwise it's coming from the cloud, right? So
correct. Make sure that it is accessible because this is on the cloud. So it's something different from the on-prem.
Yes, on-prem is all within the same cloud, with same network, so you can easily see it.
Exactly. That's why we have different flavors for different projects.
But I guess this is useful if you are on cloud, but you don't need some very sophisticated monitoring tool. You just want to make sure your website is up or your device is running even on the cloud, and you can just spark this function, and then you can actually get alerts even
Exactly.
when it's down.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Okay.
So that's why you have, that's why we will actually only support these three, and it includes the ping port URL. So let me just open up to just give you a look at how it looks like. Very similar to on-prem, but it's more simplistic lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, you can actually set up the rule type, and then after which you set up the monitoring frequency. It is very different. Okay, it's slightly different from the on-prem, because on-prem you can actually specify yourself, whereas over here it is actually a drop-down list that you choose.
Okay.
Yeah, you're so caught in a way.
It's still a lot of choices, so
yes,
it's not that
yes,
bad.
It's not that bad. Yeah, correct. So long as it's sufficient for you, then yeah, this is something that you can consider. And then after which we also set up the alert mode, the testing, so-called depth of the testing. And then after which we will then have the next one. Okay, so this is something that we have on both the on-prem and cloud.
Okay.
So where we actually take a more proactive approach to make sure that the rule that we configure is really functioning. By having that for example, if you actually will set on an hourly, daily basis, to actually do the testing of that rule itself and make sure that you get an alert. So if you do not get an alert, it means that basically it's down.
Okay, so basically, you're saying that this
so for example,
additional.
It's something that you may not commonly see in the market, but we have this in place because we want to make sure that you cannot assume that whatever that you create here will definitely work.
Right. So it is almost like a backup.
Yes.
To ensure that you may have configured wrongly, but we can still.
Or rather, configure rather to make sure that it is really working, and you don't assume that the rule is configured there and it sure works.
Okay. So it's an extra.
So it's like
Kiasu feature. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. So you can actually set it on an hourly basis to make sure that you get at a certain hour, or rather at a certain minutes or at a daily basis at a particular time of the day.
We have a question. Network monitor available for on-prem as well?
Yes.
Yeah, for some of our models, definitely. Yes, we do have monitoring, simple monitoring. Or if you want really a dedicated one, we have our Avera. Avera does a lot of availability monitoring. You can check with our colleagues, and then they can explain a bit more.
Yeah.
Definitely. I hope, Riza, you got your question answered. But the only thing, of course, cloud is slightly different, because cloud, then you're not on the same network. How do you then monitor? That's why you need to have certain ports open for you to do the checking. But then it is a simple monitoring. If you really require more sophisticated, we really recommend a lot of those software in the market, which then monitor, but for the notification, you can use us to do the notification. Okay, so anything else you're going to show us, Jasmine?
I think I will not go in there, but basically there's some other configurations here.
I think that's too much.
Yeah, correct. So basically it's something that even with the channel itself, we do have redundancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have another question. Since it's on cloud, is the network monitor need to be used public IP or local IP? Previously, device profile I saw local IP. Yeah, so
this one actually we can. Are you the current user of Sacred Cloud? I can bring this up to the technical team to actually get in touch with you.
Can I think what I'll do this probably some people may not understand this part, but we definitely can get back to you on this, our technical team, to explain further. I think how to configure all this monitoring, then we can see which IP to use and all these things, right? Okay. Okay. Anyone got any more questions for Jasmine before I let her go? Okay, we got someone want to. Oh no, then that's not a question.
There is one question. I think. What will be the name of the chatbot?
Oh. Yeah, earlier there was a question in the chat, not a Q&A.
Yeah, it's on the chat.
The chat was asking, okay, I gotta look for it.
I think somewhere below, I think, is it? I remember I saw somewhere below just now.
here it is. What will be the name of chatbot if we use MIM function in cloud? Can we customize the name of the chatbot, for example, in Telegram?
Okay, MIM function in cloud. Are you trying to say that if it's on Secret Cloud, can we change the name of the chatbot? The answer is no, because the all these bots are actually owned by us.
Oh, so the whatever you get sent out is basically
Secret Cloud bot. Yeah.
So it's generic name for everyone.
That is our name.
But if so I guess if you need to have your own, then you got to get your own bot.
Which is why you will consider the on-prem version for that.
Yes, then the on-prem will be a better solution for you. So I would say the cloud will be more okay. You need to get things up fast, simple, quick start. And then you can use us. Then once you use us as on the cloud, and then you say, hey, this one I want to get a more customized feature or better way of doing it. Then on our on-prem solution will be a better fit for that. Then it depends. So it all comes back to what's your requirement. Okay, so back to the question whether it is a public IP or local IP. The question is the answer was answered by our tech team, saying it has to be a public IP address. So not local. Wow. I got a long list of questions now. Okay. What are the back-end monitoring SendQuick integrate with? Common list, promiscuous, Grafana. So on the on-prem, we can definitely integrate with all these Zabbix, PRTG, SolarWinds, all this we have no issue integrating with. But are you referring to the cloud or are you referring to the on-prem? So we need to ask that question. But most of the time, any software, any out there in the market that does any monitoring that needs to send alerts on-prem, as long as you can send us an email, we can integrate. You can send us an SMP trap or a syslog, we can convert it to SMS for you or any other channels. So we can integrate with most systems because it's all through internet connection, IP connection, right? What are the API language requirement for the backend monitoring to talk to SendQuick cloud? Is it Python, Java, C++? Okay. That one I wait for our tech team to come back. What is the API language? But normally we use REST API, if I'm not wrong. Is that right? Or is that our own API? Do you know? Jasmine?
This one actually the tech team has to.
This one I think we'll ask the tech team. Okay. We just know how these things work in the front. And the back, we may need to check our tech team. What the close competitors? Okay, well, there's always competitors, but yeah, some of them basically there are different features. So we ours have different strengths. So I guess
I would say it's not exactly apple to apple.
Yes, there's no close match because they're all slightly different flavor or the things. What is the usage metrics? Basically, those are the usage of the systems in terms of there's a usage metrics, right?
Over here on the cloud we have logs, alerts, and then with dashboards, and then with some reports on the server rule and response time. So it's more of a basic level, or rather an entry level for you to do monitoring.
Okay. We don't use any API on the front end. I mean, it's all front end, so you don't need to use API. We have done all that for you. So I think you just need to let us know your requirements further. We can actually understand and be able to provide you a better solution. Okay, guys, you have been putting all in the chat. I'm like quite confusing. Any reporting feature, example, to generate monthly service level? Okay, perhaps Jasmine can share how then people use this because we do have customers who use this to help them monitor service level agreements they have with their own clients. Maybe can share in a sense example of how it can be used.
Okay, this is okay. For example, if you talk about service level agreement, the typical ones that we see that, for example, you can actually have different levels, whether is it a critical, whether is it, high, urgent, low priority kind of thing. And then there is a need for a certain response time and also a resolution time to it. So what happened is that we have a customer that is using Sandvik Cloud to actually adhere to the SLA, simply with email filter. So what happened is that they are actually managing IT services of the corporate customers. And then whenever there is any so-called alerts trigger via email currently, they will actually use email filter and then configure based on the keywords of their email filter to actually trigger alert to groups of people on duty, because they have, like, for example, team A, team B. So to make sure that their guys actually really get the alerts, which is currently only on email. I mean, back then when they approach us, so they actually subscribe to our social channels, for example, Teams, so that they will be able to actually get the alerts timely and be able to react. So that is the way of doing it, because they just want to make sure that it's something that is not on-prem, nothing physical, and to really solve that issue where they have tons of email coming in, and then they need to configure different rules for different groups of people. And they also have customers, but there are different customers that they manage. So they have also customers that is sitting on public cloud like AWS. How to actually get alerts from there? So he wants, or rather, this customer of ours wants to actually have a one-stop shop for managing alerts, of catering to different service level agreements that they have. Because if it's all via email itself, then it's very hard for them to actually get it up, because they do not know which is the more critical one to look into first and which is the one that is of lesser priority. But with this, they can actually get alerts, by knowing which one comes first, because which one comes first will be the more urgent ones.
Right. So their service level may depends on what the condition they need to meet in a certain time, and they can prioritize that by using certain filter rules and to make sure that those are met first, and so they don't miss out any of these agreed levels.
You're right. Yeah, because we also have the rule time buffer. So if
what's the rule time buffer?
So because sometimes when you have too many emails, if there's a cross which is no buffer, which means to say that every email alert sent out, it will convert. That means when it matches the rule configured, it will convert, or basically send it as an alert to SMS, for example.
Yes.
Then
so it may be the same alert, but keep sending,
exactly.
right?
So
and you don't want to be receiving that all the time.
Yes, correct. Right. So in certain circumstances, you need that. Based on the SLAs, you really need that. You cannot miss out anything. But in certain circumstances, they find that, hey, maybe my response time is probably maybe 8 hours. I do not need to get that so urgently. So probably I may have a rule time buffer of maybe 20 minutes, or so. Yeah, so this is the flexibility that we can offer through Sandvik Cloud itself.
Okay, great. Okay, I think we'll have one more question, and this is a very important question. How is the licensing? Is it IP based?
Okay. Basically, our structure is like that. Okay, let me share this part. So if you take a look, we have credits. That means the notification credits. That's what we mean. We have devices, we have users, we have rules. So depending on how many rules you require, how many users you need, how many devices, and then we will actually charge accordingly.
Okay, so it's based on certain credits that you can use for all these parameters.
Yeah.
Whether it rules, device, or users.
Right. So basically there are a few things. So rather put it this way, these 4 things. So we will base on these 4 things, and then there will be a pricing plan for that.
All right. Okay. So I guess let me see. Have we answered all the questions? We have answered all the questions. Any more in the chat? In case we have missed out any, do feel free to drop us an email at marketing@sandvik.com if we do want to find out more, and or you do have questions that we maybe have missed out. Okay. Okay, with that, anything else you're going to share with us, Jasmine?
I'm good now.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for that sneak peek of Sandvik Cloud. Okay, as I think it's very important for this session for us to share that besides just appliance, we also have solutions on the cloud. We have solutions on the VM, And in case some people need to be hosted, we can actually do that for you as well. But this is a very exciting development for the cloud, which is the Sanctuary Cloud. So if you would like to find out more, do drop us an email. We'll help you to see how we can meet your requirements. Okay.